What's up guys, Jake, and we are back with another Kaizo playthrough. This time we are playing an easy breezy, I believe it was rated at casual, Kaizo hack called Playground Kaizo by Ricardo. They've made, was it Easy Land 1, 2, and 3? A very fun trilogy that gets like progressively harder, but very fun game, very fun trilogy. And I think this was like advertised to be, I think it was short. I want to say 6 exits, but I don't remember. And I don't have the information in front of me, but pretty much it's a very approachable hack. And it's very cool to see these kind of hacks get made. There's Oops All Fortresses, which I recommended in my 2025 beginner to expert guide. And then there's a new hack by Jordan called Celery. Now, Celery is another very, very approachable casual hack that's really good. And I also kind of made my own hack, Critter Quest Jr., which isn't as approachable, but I tried to make a hack that doesn't require any Kaizo knowledge. So no Critter Quest, my first creation, you know, little rough, whatever. You need to do a lot of regrabs, and there's a chuck gate in the second to last level, I believe, which I wouldn't expect someone who's never played Kaizo before to figure that out, like how to do that and be comfortable with that. So my intention with Critter Quest Jr. was to have a hack that I can hand out to friends that don't play Mario, and they could play through it. That's exactly what I did. I made Critter Quest Jr., I handed it to a friend, asked him, does anything seem hard? Does anything seem difficult? Like, let me know, please, and I'll make it easier. And that's what Critter Quest Jr. resulted to be. Like, pretty much, how much can I push a beginner without introducing Kaizo knowledge? And even, like, the cape level I have at the end, like, you could do that, I think, without Kaizo knowledge, because it's pretty straightforward. But to be fair, the tester that did test it, I don't think they finished those levels, so it's mostly the main any percent of Critter Quest Jr. that is aimed to be completable for a beginner. And then if you want to, you can proceed on to the 3 extra levels. So yeah, anyway, I think it's cool to see beginner hacks. I tried my own, you know, maybe some beginners played it or not, I don't know. But this is another one. This is Playground Kaizo, and we're gonna jump into it. Oh, there's a Luigi game. I think we're gonna do Mario. Or should we do Luigi? See if there's a difference. Oh, I guess we're saving. See if there's a difference with Luigi. Maybe it's a different overworld. What's Luigi look like? Oh, it's just character select. Okay, that's cool. Oh, that's nothing. Alright. First level we have is pink. Let's check this out. This is supposed to be easy breezy. Oh, it's too hard, man. Alright. Easy breezy. Alright, cool. Very generous. I think that's cool. That was one thing I did with Critter Quest Jr. as well, was initially the levels didn't have checkpoints, and I gave them checkpoints. Okay, that's cool. GG. That's really cool for a beginner to play. Like, seriously, if you're like an absolute beginner to Kaizo, anything, you know, if you could complete that, that's gonna give you a lot of confidence. Like, I remember struggling as a beginner, and it's a process, man. Like, it's not easy. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, this is casual, which is awesome. It's really, like I said, I keep saying it, but it's really cool seeing easy stuff. Oh, okay, that's actually a little challenging. Ooh, hitting him with the early troll. Little challenging there, but it's not exactly a shell jump, so that's That's cool. As simple as it sounds, a shell jump ain't easy to do as a beginner. I think when I was first learning Kaizo a couple of years back now, I must have spent at least an hour or two just in learning Kaizo, just throwing shells at the wall, trying to figure out how to shell jump. It's not easy to get the timing down at first. You have to get the timing and then the positioning, right? And another thing too that I didn't understand with shell jumping, sorry, my dog's going crazy. With shell jumping is getting that speed, you know? If you have more momentum when you go into a shell jump, you're gonna have a higher height whenever you do the shell jump. Alright, cool. This is a cool level. Difficulty's kind of like steadily going up a little bit. Okay. Oh, no troll at the end. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. What should we in like 6 minutes? Yeah, we're really breezing through this. But this is cool, man. This makes me... I should probably make a new video for 2026 for like beginner hacks. I don't know if I'll do beginner to expert again, but... You know, since I made that video, like I said, Celery was released, and then this hack is another good hack. This might be the hardest of the casual hacks, which is kind of funny. Like, the fact that we have some shell action going on. I want to say this is like is there a ground there? Oh, that's a kill. I can see like a line there. I guess that's just a like a kill wire or something. Sprite killer. I was like, what's down there? Yeah, this might be the hardest of the casual hacks. The fact that we have some shell action going on, it's that's going to be a little bit challenging for like an absolute beginner. But I guess this isn't newcomer, right? This is more. Ooh, we have regrabs. Are those regrabs? What's a regrab? I think regrabs are a little bit more like on the intermediate side, to be honest. Let me try doing that without regrabs. I'm a little curious. You might need to regrab that. Not that I'm like the difficulty regrab police, but like, I'm a little curious. Do you have to regrab that? Regrabs are very cool to do though. Like that was one of the mechanics when I learned as a beginner in Kaizo. I was like, it blew my mind. I was like, yo, like Kaizo has regrabbing, and it's like, it's almost like learning how to like L cancel in Melee or something, or I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's like, it just adds like a whole dynamic that you're just like, whoa, you can regrab, dude. That's pretty cool. Oh, messed up. Oi. I just want to try out the regrabs again. Oh, we're not hitting it. We're struggling with this more the second time around. That's kind of crazy. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you need to regrab that. Okay. Yeah, that might be a little bit hard for a beginner. Oh, it's hard for me. Shoot. Dude, why am I sucking at this now? Sweet. So yeah, you do gotta regrab that. You can't just like free ball it. Deuces. Gray. Hold on a quick second. Give me a quick second. Oh, the mic is muted. Sorry about that. What do you actually do there? Oh, okay. That was actually kind of a little tricky to figure out. You know, if this... I think this did get rated as casual, which makes sense because the sections are pretty short. But yeah, you know what? I would say this is probably out of like Celery and Oops All Fortresses, this is probably the hardest casual hack. Which is cool, because if you're trying, say like, oops, I didn't mean to throw it. How do you get the moon? Oh, if you pick it back up, it'll transform into a mushroom, huh? Okay. Keep going. We don't need the moon, it's fine. But, back. This might be the last level. But yeah, like, as, I would say this is, like, upper casual. The fact that you're dealing with shells, re-grabs, like, you're dealing with, like, actual Kaizo tech. Which is cool. This is, like, a nice... If you're getting into Kaizo in 2026, having that ease of, I would say, go into Oops All Fortresses, then play Celery, then playing... After you play this, you're probably ready to start learning Kaizo technique with 2 Kaizo to learn or learn a Kaizo. I kind of recommend 2 Kaizo to learn because it's a little bit more approachable. You can select what tech you want to learn. You know, if double shell jump's a little too hard, you know, just skip it, right? Learn a Kaizo is like a force feed. You're gonna learn how to do a spring jump, right? Which you never do in like any hack other than like that optional Invictus level. So I learned with Learn a Kaizo. I don't think most people should, though. I think people should go to 2 Kaizo to learn, but you know, that's a different discussion. But this is, point being, this is a nice capstone hack to get before you even step into those learning hacks, before you step into Quickie 1, Quickie 2. Quickie 1, Quickie 2, you know, classic, you know, beginner hacks to play, right, to get your skills up. Like, you could probably just jump straight into these instead of playing, like, standard hacks, you know? I know Barb has his beginner guide. He actually recommends playing, like, a lot of standard hacks. I think one of them was even, like, put mice in my head and beat them out with a mallet or something like that. That really long mice named hack. That, in my opinion, is harder than this. Like, it's harder than these casual hacks, so... If you don't like the standard category of Mario at all, and you're just looking for Kaizo, you know, they're 2 very different experiences, and you might be fine just going straight into these hacks, you know? Maybe that's a terrible recommendation, but I don't think it is. I think if you're like, I want to get into Kaizo Mario, where do I start? I'd say, hey, go to SMW Central, filter out for casual Kaizo, get this hack, Playground Kaizo, get Oops All Fortresses and Celery, and I'd recommend playing in the order of Oops All Fortresses, then Celery, then probably this, because like I said, this has some shell tech, and then at some point, get 2 Kaizo to learn. Get that, start learning some Kaizo tech, you know. I think you'll be solid with Kaizo. And then, you know, I'll throw in my hack there too, play Critter Quest Jr. I think Critter Quest Jr. is pretty approachable, you know. Maybe I'm just a little deluded, a little delusional, but I you know, maybe it's not a good beginner hack, I don't know, but I tried to design that hack to be approachable. Anyway, final level, I think, black. Let's go in. We have the SMT music, man. I love it when the creators use the SMT music. Or this isn't even SMT, it's Megami Tensei, right? Oh, that's a re-grab. What? So I could do a shell jump there, but I don't think that's what they intended. I'm kind of curious to see what they intended. Okay. Yeah, the one thing too that I put in Critter Quest Junior is a lot of indicators, which I think a lot of people didn't like. But I also is that a checkpoint? That's got to be a checkpoint, right? Yeah. And I'll say this: I do apologize for all the indicators that I put in Critter Quest Senior, Critter Quest, you know, Vanilla, whatever, right? Because that was intended for Kaizo Intermediate, and I understand at that rate, you know, players should figure out what to do, right? So, in hindsight, I don't think I would have put as many indicators, but I need that shell. Ooh, okay, it's a little tricky. This is asking a lot for a beginner to do. If you could do this, you might be ready to play some intermediate. Like, if you're going baby steps, which is perfectly fine, like, this is a little challenging. Like, if you could figure out what to do here, this is some good Kaizo problem solving. Yeah, look at that. Wow. There we go, GG. What was I saying? Yeah, so I do I'll throw an apology for all of the indicators that I put in Critter Quest Vanilla. I think that was a little bit disrespectful to the player. But Critter Quest Junior, that was like me doubling down. It's like when you have a losing hand and it's like all in, you know? But hear me out. I think Critter Quest Junior benefits from the indicators. Because if you're like a true beginner, I think seeing like the coins and the numbered coins, and even if it's a lot to take in, I think it's as a beginner that can really benefit you. You know, I do believe that. That's my belief. Maybe I'm wrong, but especially if you're a true beginner, understanding what you could spin jump on, understanding what you normal jump on, I think that can be. I think that can help a player. You know. So, I don't apologize for the Critter Quest Junior indicators. Most of them, at least. I know it is pretty heavily indicated still. But Critter Quest Vanilla, I don't think it needed all the indicators in hindsight. But I'm not going to go back and remove them and then, you know, make a crazy update. It's fine. UGU1, created by RicardoDeMelo. Testers. The end. What a cool hack. What a cool hack. We beat it in what? Little under 20 minutes? Yeah, really cool hack. If I make another beginner guide, which, you know, maybe I might. Maybe I'll make another 2026 beginner guide. You know, am I really going to be the idiot that throws their own hack in it? I don't know. I might just suggest it as optional, but I would like to recommend other hacks. And if I do make another video, it would be Oops All Fortresses, and now, since the last video, Celery, and go to the main. Let's go to the title screen. Playground Kaizo. This is a nice capstone hack in the casual category. Like I said, some of these things like regrabs, some of the more advanced reading, like some of that shell tech at the end, I think will make you a strong player. But the sections are short. And if you have trouble completing this as a beginner, don't be discouraged. I think you can pick up, like I said, 2 Kaizo to learn, and probably learn how to regrab. For some reason, it took me a while to learn how to regrab. It wasn't until like Baby Kaizo World 2, I was like, how do you get past like the 2nd level? And like I learned how to regrab there, and I was like, oh, like that's what a regrab is. And just for any beginners, you know, a regrab, as I keep using that term, a regrab is essentially when you land on an enemy and you don't hold the jump button, and right after you bounce off them, you re-grab the jump button. And when you do that, you're more floaty and you get more horizontal distance. I'm sure, you know, if you know Kaizo, maybe you already know that, but I'll just state that for players that might not know what exactly a regrab is. You know, this doesn't hurt to say the obvious for the experts, but you know, I'm sure that everyone's an expert, which is perfectly fine. 6 exits, Playground Kaizo, that's it. So, yeah, really cool hack. This is an easy recommendation. If you, I keep saying over and over again, but if you are brand new to Kaizo and you want to check out Kaizo, do this after Oops All Fortresses, and or Celery. 2 amazing starting points in Kaizo. This one adds a little bit more spiciness. Like I said, you're doing some regrabs, you're doing some a little bit more in-depth advanced reading, trying to understand what to do with the shells and what to do with the enemies. So this adds a little bit of spiciness of what you're going to see in Kaizo. More advanced reading, because Kaizo, you know, it kind of becomes like a puzzle. You need to look at the screen. If you notice, my recent playthroughs, I'll pause and kind of look at the screen, because you need to read the screen. And if you're a beginner, it's difficult to understand what you can do. You know, you'll look at the screen and be like, I don't know what to do. So this is a good starting point to kind of figure that out. The sections are short, so if you get it, the game will reward you and give you a checkpoint. That's very nice. That's very generous. Most, you know, Kaizo hacks that are more difficult, you'll get a section just to die and be discouraged, right? So this is fantastic casual hack. Like I said, probably upper casual. And I'd recommend this after Celery or Oops All Fortresses. So anyway, that's the end of the playthrough. Thanks everybody, or anyone who's checked this out, and I hope to see you all in the next playthrough. So until then, take it easy.